Hello, TBC people, and welcome back. I'm back at the messy desk because it's that time of the year again, the 2023 Ninjago Set Awards. Let's get started. So obviously nothing's too different this time around. Nothing's really changed too much except for the fact that we have a new show, Ninjago Dragons Rising. Now, I have given my thoughts on Ninjago Dragons Rising. I think it's a really good show, honestly. I think it captures a lot of the best moments of classic Ninjago while still adding a lot of new elements that I really enjoy about it. But also at the start of the year, we did get the new core sets, and so this is going to involve both those series of sets in one big awards show. So, obviously, there's 9 categories, I think, or 8 categories, sorry. There are categories ranging from Best Small Set, Best Big Set, Dragon of 2023, Vehicle of 2023, Best 2023 Design Set, Best 2023 Value Set, Worst Set of 2023, and the MVP, the grand prize. So, without further ado, let's get started with the Best Small Set of 2023. Now, I think it's pretty obvious what this small set award entails, alright? Basically, it just needs to take into account everything it's given, which is a small piece count, and turn it into something, maybe good, maybe even great. And so, with that said, winner for Best Small Set goes to Lloyd's Mech Battle. Simple but effective, alright? 223 pieces to make 2 mechs, alright? 2 Evo mechs even, which are incredibly solid mechs. Nothing too special, nothing too spectacular. They use very simple pieces, obviously. The SCS pieces, I believe they're called, or SCCBS. They use those and they utilize them for the arms, the limbs, the chest plate, and I think that it's done it really well. The color scheme is obviously pretty alright, and I've talked about this earlier in the year, so definitely check out my rankings if you want to learn more about these sets. But I just think it's a pretty solid set overall, and I kind of predicted this from the start of the year. Good minifigure selection featuring an exclusive Lloyd minifigure, what I would consider to be a starter pack of sorts, honestly. But in terms of runner-ups, the first runner-up goes to Imperial Dragon Hunter Hound. That was a mouthful to say, but it's also my starter pack of choice for Dragons Rising. I think it has a lot of good features to it as well. I love how it's a creature-like enemy vehicle, which separates it from villain vehicles, which are really boring at this point in my opinion. But the main reason it couldn't get Best Small Set award is because it's kind of lacking in the design from my perspective. But another runner-up also goes to Nia's Water Dragon Evo. And damn, alright, these Ninjago core sets are really good for small sets in my opinion. If you choose the right ones, which aren't like the generic vehicles, the cars, or just like a motorbike or something, I think that these are really good small sets. And it's got a nice color scheme, obviously. Alright minifigure selection, but nothing special. And the Evo feature is really bland in this set. And there's also not much to play with, unlike the Lloyd mech, where you get 2 mechs to battle out. But, next category is Best Big Set. Best Big Set obviously does the same thing as Best Small Set. A lot more similar than you may think. It just needs to take into account all the big piece count it's given and turn it into a really good, excellent set. But with that said, the Best Big Set of 2023 for Ninjago goes to Elemental Dragon versus the Empress Mech. Now, when this first came out, I think I had pretty good impressions for it. You guys can watch my impressions video. I'll probably link it down below. Actually, I'll link all the videos I mentioned down below, just so you guys can check it out for more detail and stuff like that. But I think I had pretty good impressions on this set. Sorry, I was just thinking of the word. The dragon I said looks superior to many other dragons that we've seen in the last while, just because it looks a lot more like a dinosaur, and that really separates it from others. It's got a 1038 piece count, which is used for an excellent dragon and killer mech in my opinion. Mech is actually my favorite mech of the year, surprisingly, It's really grown on me since the initial impressions. I really wasn't a big fan of the mech. I thought that they should have some other side build, But it's really grown on me. I really like the color scheme. I think that the proportions are really good, and the proportions of this set in general are really, really good, just because it makes it feel extremely balanced due to the similar heights. But, as I said before, we have runner-ups. So, runner-up for Best Big Set, Jay's Titan Mech. Cool looking build, reminiscent of the Prime Empire Cyber Dragon from my perspective, but the minifigure selection isn't that great, just because it's a bunch of core minifigures and people probably have a bunch of duplicates at this point. And while it scored higher in my rankings than the Elemental Dragon, which is the winner of this category, funnily enough, the dragon just feels more like a complete set. Runner-up for this category of best big set goes to Creative Ninja Brick Box as well. Love the concept of this set, but not that good in my opinion. I really just wanted to give it a shout out because LEGO's really trying to be creative with this set, and I'm all there for it. So yeah, good job LEGO. But best dragon of 2023. This is one of the biggest categories in my opinion. Definitely the hardest category just because Ninjago gets so many dragons every year. I think this year had a total of 5, but as you guys can see on this slide, there's only 4 that I showed just because the 5th one is really not that good, and I think you can guess which one it is. But yeah, best dragon of 2023 goes to Zane's Ice Dragon Creature. Now, I love the design of this dragon. Oh my gosh, it's so nice. We haven't had an Ice Dragon in a while since Tournament of Elements, so that's great, first of all. But the wings are pretty good in my opinion, and I like the overall color scheme of this guy. It's very minty, frosty look, which is very unique. But talking about the wings, they are also a slight letdown for me. Not quite the Ultra Dragon articulation of last year, which was the winner for Best Dragon, but aesthetically, this dragon is still beautiful. And somehow, it's a 2-in-1 dragon, and I think this is definitely deserving of Best Dragon of 2023. But, runner-ups, as I mentioned before, Elemental Dragon versus the Emperor's Mech has such a good dragon from my perspective. It really captures the lightning element well just due to the shaping of the dragon, but they don't add as much in terms of elemental aesthetics, I would say. There's not as much yellow lightning elements on there. But another runner-up goes to the Heatwave Transforming Lava Dragon. And this is personally my favorite set of the year, my favorite dragon of the year, obviously, just because it's my favorite set of the year. It looks super clean, very smooth all around until you get to the legs, really. That's the only letdown, in my opinion. A unique play feature of the neck, which is very interesting to me, and a unique color scheme overall, but not as good as the Zane's Ice Dragon Creature, and not as unique in general, in my opinion, This doesn't even look like a dragon to me in some angles. It just looks like some sort of beastly creature, which isn't a bad thing, just different. But next category, Vehicle of 2023. Well, obviously, we've had the best dragon, and it's the best vehicle of 2023. So this is a vehicle that incorporates all the good building techniques, in my opinion, and just does everything really well. Unique concept, and that's really just a big thing to me, I'm getting really bored of Ninjago vehicles, because while they were cool at the beginning, we're just getting so many that they feel like repeats of each other at this point. And so, with that said, you guys can probably guess where this is going. The winner for Vehicle of 2023 goes to Sora's Transforming Mech Bike Racer. What a mouthful of a name, all these sets are mouthfuls of names, but an incredibly unique concept, and I think you guys can see a trend with the best vehicle at the point this is at, which is that it's just different. The color scheme looks like it's something that come out of a LEGO video game or just a video game in general, like Overwatch or something, which is different. The bike has components other than wheels that move, the arms that come out, which is, again, different. 3 wheels, different. And it even transforms into a mech without substituting any or too many parts at all. Different. It's just that, oh my gosh. I've seen so many crap bikes from Ninjago that the moment I see this, I'm like, just wow. And I really hope that LEGO keeps setting the bar this high for their future bikes. Just keep adding new stuff to it. Just make it different, honestly, LEGO. That's what people want to see. But runner-up for this section goes to Lloyd and Aaron's Ninja Team Mechs. Again, it just does stuff differently. We haven't seen much of these building techniques before, and we haven't seen much of this design language before. It's got the sails on Lloyd's mech, which I think is really cool in my opinion. I like the color scheme, how it's a lot more muted out and a lot darker. The Aaron mech is really disappointing to me, which is why this is not the best vehicle of 2023. And another runner-up is Jace Titan mech, I don't think I've spoken about this today, but Jace Titan mech actually came second in the preseason rankings for Ninjago Core, and so I thought that was really good. Overall, just a really solid mech, but just not that unique of a concept. But best design set of 2023, or best 2023 design set, is a category where it's just, you gotta look at the building techniques, you gotta look at the overall aesthetics, you gotta look at the shaping of it, you gotta look at just how neat and cohesive it looks, and there was really only one answer for me, which is Zane's Ice Dragon Creature. Second award today, geez, good job. And like the Lloyd Dragon of last year, Lloyd's Legendary Dragon, the dragon is excellent in its design, and if not even better, I think there's much more character in this dragon through the spikes that I've talked about, that even if this were colored any other way, I think I would still recognize it as an ice dragon. The mech, in my opinion, is nothing special, so I won't really touch on that. But just a cohesive design, building techniques all around, and durable too. But runner-up, Heatwave Transforming Lava Dragon. Again, my favorite set of the year. You know, more traditional dragon building techniques, just less stuff to it in general. So it couldn't win the design set. But the colors are definitely a highlight. Sure, it's just red again and it's a fire dragon, but I think that they added purple this time, which makes it a bit more different. And another runner-up goes to the Destiny's Bounties Raced Against Time. I really didn't want to include this one, but like, it's just every time I look at a bounty that LEGO releases, I'm like, it's the same thing every time we get one of these sets, but there were just minor improvements, you know, changing proportions a bit in the middle area, colors, such minor things like that just always make me love the bounty sets. And so, with that said, it's just a runner-up, just because it's not really that special in my opinion, and nothing too unique about the building techniques. It's really just a copy of the old bounty, new colors, just minor changes again. But, next award. Best 2023 Value Set. Now, in case you guys are wondering if this is just purely based off price to piece ratio, it's not really. It's really just based off what it looks to be. So, if in case you guys are wondering what I mean by that, so if I look at like the Elemental Dragon set per se, it's got two parts to it, and they look pretty evenly sized for the price of that set. And so I think that's a really good value set. And so sure, it could be related to price to piece ratio in your opinion, but in my opinion, it's also a lot of the builds. And with that said, best value set of 2023 goes to Temple of the Dragon Energy Cores. When I saw this set originally, I think I quite liked it, but nothing too special about it in terms of like the building and all. Not incredibly discounted at the moment with the value, but even where it's at now, you get 1,029 pieces for 140 to 50 AUD, which while not as good as the Dojo Temple last year winner, it's still pretty good to me. Temple build is good, and a 4 out of 5 in design is what I gave it in terms of the ranking, which is still very, very good. Balanced minifigure selection, in my opinion, including an exclusive Spirit minifigure, and definitely a worthy investment because of how generic it is. It's going to last over generations, in my opinion. But runner-up for this category goes to Lloyd's Mech Battle. Second mention today, 2 mechs which are included, which work well, really good price to piece ratio, exclusive minifigure, a bit small, but you won't get quite the value sensation that you're hoping for. And another runner-up is the Elemental Dragon versus the Empress mech, which I already mentioned. I wasn't meant to, but I already did, so whatever. A very good dragon and mech, which is 2 components that kind of plays into the value interpretation. Not as good of a price though, price to piece ratio though, so that's why I couldn't win. But let's turn it completely around. What's the worst set of 2023? Well, from my perspective, it's Cole's Earth Dragon Evo. Sadly, you know, I really wanted to love this set, just because I love Evo Dragons. I know that's a really controversial opinion, but I do think that they offer a lot of creativity for kids to play with. Like, you guys know that my most popular video is the Fusion Dragon between the Lightning and Fire Dragon, which I'm still trying to get my hands on the Water Dragon and the Earth Dragon. Not that they're expensive sets or anything, but like, I just really don't want to spend money on those things. But yeah, this set has terrible play features, looks like an Earth Dragon, but what's the point if it can't even be played with without breaking apart? $60 for 285 pieces is absolute daylight robbery from my perspective. And while we won't get another Earth Dragon for a while, save the cash and get something that looks similar to an Earth Dragon. Like, I don't know, like, I remember Harry Potter had the Hungarian Horntail, which looks kind of like an Earth Dragon from my perspective. So yeah, definitely get that instead of this. Sure, it's a bit more, it's going to cost much more, but it's definitely a much better build in general. But runner-up for this category, and I only have one runner-up because I want to just say that every single Ninjago Dragons Rising set did not score below 17 out of 25, which is extremely, extremely good in my opinion. The core sets got 2 which were below 15, which were these 2 sets. And so, with that said, the runner-up for this category is Jay's Lightning Jet Evo. Sure, it's just another Lightning Dragon, or Lightning Jet, sorry. But the play features actually work when compared to the Cole's Earth Dragon Evo, and there's a great price to piece ratio, which is why it doesn't take the cake for worst 2023 set of Ninjago. But now is the big one. It's the MVP award. So I've actually changed it this year. I'm going to do third, second, and then first, which is the MVP. So third place, Heatwave Transforming Lava Dragon. Again, my favorite set of the year. You know, clean design and look, play features work well, decent value. Disappoints in the concept though, and aging, since we get fire dragons like every year basically at this point. But still a really good set, and I highly recommend picking it up if you are looking for a set that's not too expensive, but has a lot going for it. Also, the value of this set is actually really good from my perspective. It's like 500 and something pieces for 65 AUD, which is really solid pricing when compared to many of the other sets in this theme. And so, second place, it just had to get it. It's Zane's Ice Dragon Creature. And it's already won 2 awards today, but not really mentioned anywhere else, which is why it doesn't win the MVP award. But the highlight is, of course, that the design. As I've talked about, I just cannot praise the building techniques, aesthetics, and cohesion of this enough. And it could have won first, if not for the MVP, which is Elemental Dragon versus the Empress Mech. Total of 3 mentions this time around, including one, which is the Big Set Award. And it nails everything really well to me. Design, not perfect, but very solid. Concept, bland, but well executed. Play features are simple but effective, and value is not the cheapest, but definitely worth it. And the age, we're probably not going to get another Lightning Dragon, maybe for like 2 or 3 years. I remember the last one, I think, was the Prime Empire one. So yeah, probably 2 or 3 years. So yeah, obviously not the best in everything, but definitely close. But yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.